Welcome back to Alpha Awakened. This is Module 8 of the program. This module is called Handle the Now to Handle the Future. Let's start with a quote. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Albert Einstein. In the modern world, there are so many challenges that we face. There are so many things that engage our time and energy. In addition to maintaining jobs and careers and businesses and friendships, we have relationships, families, we have social media to deal with, we have traffic, taxes, cars, travel, bills, on and on the list goes. One of the automatic tendencies to deal with so much happening in life is to see what happened in the past, use that information to try to control things in the now, and then force the future to be what we want it to be. Can you relate to that mindset? Most of the world is in that mindset. And just to make sure we see it, isn't that future that we're trying to control things into the utopian future where everything works perfectly and it's all predictable and easy, and now you can finally relax, right? Why are we talking about this? Because as we will explore, your ability to influence and create the future is based on your ability to handle the now. So let's take a look at what normally gets in the way of that happening. On a new sheet in your notebook, right at the top, the now creates the future. And take 5 minutes to answer the following. What are 10 areas of my life that are underperforming? Areas can be things like your love life, your connectedness with your partner, your home life, your work life, your health, your creative expression, your finances, your relationship with your family, with your friends. You get the idea. Each one of those, let's call those an area. So pause the video and restart it when you have a list of 10. Okay, good. For those 10 areas, I want you to count how many times you wrote that you were responsible for it underperforming, and where you wrote that it was somebody else's fault or something else's fault. Statements like, my boss won't promote me, because she doesn't like sex as much as I do, Those are examples of somebody else's fault. So one of the things that's very prevalent in society today is the blame game. And the blame game is about not taking responsibility and not being accountable for one's actions. In other words, not being agentic. And we will discuss what that means in another module. But just follow this. At a certain point, when the blame game happens long enough, it is possible to develop what's known as a learned weakness. That's a psychological term for the effect of becoming unable to handle life by continuously giving away one's power and the ability to be agentic. So without making yourself wrong or judging yourself, because neither of those behaviors actually serves, let's take a look at how you regain your power. And the first step is to identify the story that you have created around the situation and see the story for what it is. It's a story. So let's go back to the list of underperforming areas, and for each area where you had something or someone else at fault for the underperformance, we're going to write 1 or 2 lines of the story. So for example, I didn't get the promotion at work because my boss doesn't like me. Or, my girlfriend won't have more sex with me because she's got problems. You get the idea. We've all done this. So write down the stories. Take 5 or 10 minutes and get clear about each of your stories in each of the areas where you're blaming something external right now. Pause the video and restart it when you're done. Okay, good work. I know that sometimes to admit that there's a story in there can be humbling. So know that humility is actually a trait of greatness. So well done. Now that you can see the story clearly, let's look at the cost of telling yourself and others that story. So costs will include things like your energy, patience, your money, your time, physical contact, emotional contact, sex, laughter, play, tension, backaches, a good work environment, a happy home. All of those can be at cost based on your story. So for each story that you had, write down the answer to this. What does telling and believing this story cost me? Take enough time here to answer this so that you can connect to the cost in your life of this behavior of externally blaming things. Pause the video and restart it when you're done. Very good. That's not normally an easy thing to do because feeling the cost can sometimes be quite challenging. It brings up a lot of, again, emotional turmoil, the feeling state. So thank you for actually expanding your capacity to hold and see what your story is really costing you. So now let's talk about the title of this module. Handle the now to handle the future. What this means is, let's give the opposite. If you can't handle the now, the life that you have now, and fully own what you need to own, preferably with grace and ease and gratitude and power, then you can't handle more. You can't handle more money, more sex, more power, more strength, more of anything and everything that you want. The future you want can only arrive when you can accept and handle your life now. I'll say that in a different way so it's less abstract. If you can't handle $100,000 and the responsibility that goes with $100,000, how can you handle $1 million? If you can't handle your current relationship, how can you handle a relationship that is more passionate, more sensual, more sexual, more expansive than what you have now? The future you want can only arrive when you can accept and handle all of your life now. Okay? So where to begin? The way to begin is to start handling the now. And the way you start handling the now is by taking full responsibility for everything in your life. Your thoughts are your thoughts. Your feelings are your feelings. And your actions are your actions. They are yours. Own all of them. All of them. Now, I want you to know, based on what your life looks like right now, that this may mean that you're going to have to do a lot of cleaning up, maybe asking for forgiveness, maybe owning where you've acted inappropriately. You may have to have candid conversations where you ask for feedback and truth. You may need to be humble, and you will need to leave your ego at the door so that you can begin to own your life fully. The awakened alpha knows this and operates from this place. If he needs a new skill, he goes and acquires it. If he needs to expand his capacity, he does so. If he needs to do the work on himself, he does the work. If he needs to apologize for his mistakes, he does. If he needs to ask for forgiveness or give forgiveness, he does. He knows how to have compassion for himself and others. He knows his life is his, and he can handle all of it, else it wouldn't have been given to him. So let's go back to the list of stories and costs from up above, and now we're going to tell a new story for each. Take 5 minutes for each area and write a new story. And the new story starts with, I own my life, I accept all of it as it is, and I'm going to take the following actions to handle it. And lay out what you're going to do for each of these areas from a place of being an awakened alpha. Okay? Good. Now pause the video, do the work, and restart it when you're done. Excellent. Don't you feel your power beginning to come back already? I can. It may be new at first and it may push some edges for you, but owning your life as yours is how you will create room for the life that you want to arrive. When you can handle the now you can handle the future. So this week's life play is to start working on your list of areas from this module. Be kind to yourself, be gentle, and be focused on accepting, handling, and owning all of it so that you can receive all of the breadth that life has in store for you. There is an incredible future that is waiting to arrive in your life, and it can't arrive until you handle what you've got right now. So choose to do this in a graceful way with power and ease. Fix what needs to be fixed. Forgive what needs to be forgiven. Ask for forgiveness where you haven't. Be humble. Allow your ego to get out of the way. Grow your capacity to land in your alignment. Lean into being an awakened alpha and receive all of what life has in store for you. Have a great week. Enjoy the expansion and who that you're becoming as you do this work. I look forward to hearing your stories, and we'll see you in the next module.